Hi guys, we are back and DeFi Singapore. We are back. Leslie Daniel Chan here from DeFi Singapore, and welcome back. We have been on a hiatus, as you can see. It's been a while. I hope you guys have not missed us too much. We are back with a few other co-hosts of my own, very good friends of mine, where we can actually talk about the moon charts, basically. If it's not happening now, it is happening right now as we speak. As the prices of Bitcoin and the other altcoins are escalating up itself. So on this show itself, anything goes and everything goes, right? Because it is live. And if you guys are joining us for the first time, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you guys for watching as we watch this. If you have any questions along the way, if you guys post, I'll try to put it up on the comments. We are streaming this live. Without further ado, let me introduce you guys to my friends, Steve Good. It's our Moon Jedi, Moon Charts Jedi. He went from DeFi DEGEN to Moon Charts Jedi.
Well, I was the stick man. I was stick it to the man for a while as well, right?
Yeah, that was fun. And next co-host that we have for today is none other than Crypto Babe, Adele itself, right? So, Adele, yeah, you guys have been hearing for you guys. We've been talking about moon charts since October last year, right? I can't remember if it was October or anything earlier, but it was around the time that we were talking about it, and we were monitoring about the moon charts itself. And Steve was sharing it with us for the first time, and he's the original OG for moon charts, right? Everything goes back to him, it's like OG in the house, right? So, and Steve himself actually shared this huge tip with us, and Adele and myself have been following this, this trend. As much as it is, we're going to put out a disclaimer at this point of time. Nothing here is financial advice. You have to do your own due diligence, guys. And please take note that whatever we say, it is not financial advice at all, right? So take it with a pinch of salt. It is used as a helpline for us to actually get our trades more or less correct. So Adele, have you been watching the moon charts itself?
I just came home from chasing the moon. Have I been watching the moon charts? Yes, and I just want to clarify one thing. Let's get one thing straight. So a lot of people have heard about the moon chart, Steve. And everyone after the weekend was like, oh, we have 3 more days to the full moon. And I'm like, no, guys, the magic is 3 to 6 days before the full moon. It's done. By after Sunday, it's done.
No, after the full moon, not before.
Sorry?
3 to 8 days. Well, it typically starts anywhere up to 3 to 8 days after the full moon, and then can go up further. So we're still in the zone.
We're
still in the zone. All right.
Completely still in the zone. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we'll see Sunday prices again. Matic was 70 cents.
Well, the good news is the last time we recorded this, I drew a little squiggly line on the chart and said, this is what might happen. And maybe you're probably wondering whether it happened or not. And I'll have to wait till the end of the show to show you.
All right. All right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll show you sooner.
Right, cool. A lot of people have been hearing about the moon charts. And I think no one has been as excited about it until this cycle, right? This particular cycle.
It's only because we're out telling people about it, right? We have been observing, we have been trying to monitor the trend, trying to make it have the correlation for the charts. And as a result, we were just monitoring it on our own. We did have a bit of fun, last year, at the end of last year, where Steve was just jokingly telling that. And I still remember, Adele, you're taking out your crystal ball, right? You're like rubbing your crystal ball. Do you still have your crystal ball? Like, look into the crystal ball, guys. So yeah. So that was like in jest, but no one took us seriously. And the next thing we know, we were like watching it and looking at it. Yeah, there you go. That was your crystal ball, right? So, and right now we are looking at it live, and it really helps a lot in our planning and our strategy, right? So for the trading aspect of where what should be our next moves, right, per se. And Adele, you just mentioned that is this the right time? Can I still buy in at 40,000, right? So Steve just told you that it's still in the zone, basically. So if it's another 5 to 8 more days before it starts to come out, then yeah, who knows, right? We lost Steve for the moment. I'm hoping he gets back to us live, because Steve's got to show us his moon chart. Yeah.
I can still hear you. I don't know why can you hear me okay?
Yeah, your video is
sound
just
was fine. My video just cut for a second. Yeah.
I had that as well earlier in my session. Just
it's a problem with Jane. It's just a problem with Chrome. Google Chrome just does this all the time. I need to probably switch browsers.
I'm on Chrome as well.
I'm on Chrome.
Yeah, it's got a lot of memory problems.
You've got too much going on, man. Yeah.
How many people do you have joining us tonight, Leslie? Can you see?
We have 13 people. Seems like it's our regular people, the ones that missed us. Well, we have
hello, regular people. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, we have Pang Yao Tian. Long time no see. Yes, it's been a while, guys. Yeah.
Just do us all a favor and give us a like, because likes help our channel get found more. All we need everyone to do is just give us a thumbs up, because we're going to do moon charts in a minute. So
yeah. Who wants to hear the moon charts? Let's have a raise of hands. Who wants to just say me in the comments, man. And then we're gonna just dive deep into it.
Just click the like button, and we'll move to moon charts.
Yeah. Adele, sorry, Adele, you want to say something?
I think this particular moon, of course, has been very exciting. When did the shock happen? When did you shake me from my room and drag me into an urgent last-minute Zoom session to talk about, oh my God, this thing just happened. Bitcoin just dropped to 30K, and I was like, what? I'm just playing computer games. Right? So, you want to address that a little bit, Leslie?
Yeah. So we were watching the charts, and there was a huge drop, right? And Danny gave us a call, to be honest. And people were saying, Danny, why didn't you tell us that it's gonna be dropping? And so the weird thing is that he only put it out. I think he was so busy. He just told my own students, So then we were all scrambling. Okay, guys, we've got to meet now, right? Now. And so when we did that, we kind of took a look at the prices of cryptocurrencies, and it was plunging, right? And we were like, okay, 20% drop, and you guys, got to prep for this. And in the next day or so, it actually dropped to 30,000, right? But 30,000 was a quick bounce anyway. So, but we had good news all around, because thank God everyone with that signal, everyone got out, right? So we kind of took some profits, kept the blue chips that we want to keep, the good ones like Matic, I mean, Steve, we were talking about Matic last year, and oh my gosh, right? I mean, especially with Avagochi and latest, I've just sent you a video, right? And that's gonna be on Matic as well, right? So
really?
that's hilarious, man. I mean, like, sheesh, that's gonna be a huge coin. And today, right? Today, Mark Cuban just mentioned that he's gonna support Matic as well. So and the price just pumped. Ridiculously a huge amount that went up. Will we see an all-time high in the next 2 days or so? I'm just crossing fingers here, man. Yeah, because if you got in at on the Sunday's price, which was a dip or a huge shopping spree, you still could have gotten it in its heydays where we were talking about it at about 70 to 80 cents. I think, Steve, you got in earlier, right? For Matic, right? You got in at what, 15 cents? I can't remember. Yeah, Steve was like,
you guys don't do anything. I didn't know.
I told you to get into Matic, and you just have to trust me sometimes. I mean, Dunny's the master of calling it, but without the kind of back channels.
I didn't know about it.
So,
But I
well,
have been a Bitcoin maximalist forever until this past week when the nonsense happened, and suddenly I was like, fine, what is FTX? Let's open an account. Gemini, fine, let's open an account. Whatever was on the shopping list that you guys have mentioned, except Avocado, I didn't get into that. But Matic, okay, 150 buy-in price, sure, and then it went to 135, and then 145, 135, 111, and then it dropped, and I was like scared as usual. I FOMO'd myself out of the 70 cents, and then of course today I'm like, why didn't I buy at 70 cents?
you should just average down at that point of time. You should just average down, man. If you had more bullets, just average down. If you bought 15 cent at 80 cents and the price was the previous price was at 160, what you did was you actually just bring the two prices together basically, and just average down to maybe $1 or 120 actually, right, for your Matic, and you would be in like dollar profits basically, for this point of time. Yeah, so are we excited about watching the like what's going to happen in the next few days? Mr. Steve Good is going to show us, the OG chart for the moon charts, right? Hey, yeah, and hopefully we can see more information as to when is the call orders and all. Oh no, Steve's like stuck on his video again. Oh no, yeah. We can see his face is getting all serious here, but we are.
He's ready to pull up his charts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I think like the good. Oh, we lost him completely.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve, why don't you show us the moon charts, man? Yeah, and draw your dinosaur, man.
Are you sure you want to see what you missed out on last time?
Adele, this is the channel,
I nibbled. I was just ambitious, right? I set orders at 28, so I could have parked that. Also because I think the exchanges were on some kind of lag this weekend, so like everything was going a lot more slowly. I couldn't get funds in fast enough, so. Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Steve, anytime when you're ready, man, you can actually show this.
I will share my screen, and you guys are going to cry. Oh, you won't cry. At least you'll appreciate that we're accurate about what we say.
Adele's probably going to cry because she had the first-hand knowledge since last year. She was with us since then, right? So
I'm okay with where my Matic price is. I'm okay. I'm happy with it. I don't need 70 cents, but 130 is happy. Not too bad. But I think everyone wants to know, like, what is this duration of the moon charts and why are we still in it?
So there you go.
Blow this up.
That's what we called last time. We sat here and we circled it at the bottom because we did the call like right around the full moon, and I drew this lineup. I mean, look at how. I mean, I wasn't trying to be dramatic, and I also wasn't trying to be entirely accurate, but it literally tracked the line. I mean, maybe a little too accurately for my tastes.
Spot on, man. Spot on. Yeah.
But in this case, I mean, there was a bottom a few days before, and then another bottom right before the full moon, so there was no rush. And even if you got in on the full moon and it was like not 2 days before, and you entered at 53, you still could have gone all the way up to 58, made 5,000 points. And if you still held on, you would have gone all the way up to 59. But 58 was a good exit. So
yeah,
you could have gotten in at 50 and gone to 58. There's an 8,000 point gain there. So knowing that it might happen a day or two before, and you could have come in at 49, maybe 48 if you got lucky, but probably not. I think most people, if they played this right, would have gotten in around 51.
Yeah,
maybe 52.
Yeah,
and they could have written it up even to the first wick up here at 55 with the stop, or if they took a chance and wrote it a bit further, knowing that there's X number of days to play with, and we're talking about this is the 26th, and if you go 5 days forward, you're talking about over here, then you're 57, 58K. So I mean, there was 5 or 6K to play with on this last run. It wasn't huge, but playing conservatively, because you're never going to get from the bottom to the top. I mean, a lucky person had an entry at 48 and got out at 59. That's 11K. Sorry, is that? Yeah. But that's not going to happen for most people. There's no way, because you
Yeah.
know, as I've said in the past, if you look at the full moons, it's like there's the full moon there, and then it's
Right.
like two or 3 days later before it moves, and if it starts there and you ran it up, you're talking about starting on the 1st of March, you know, let's say at 47 or even 48K. And if you ran it up to someplace up here at 58, there's your 10K. But look, it started a few days after, not before. And this one here, again, there's the bottom, and the full moon came a couple days after. So you could have started a few days early and just waited it out. But it then runs for, you know, what was the full moon then? It was on the 28th, say?
Yeah.
And it ran all the way up until the 14th. I mean, it was a good 2-week run.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
always a 2 weeks run.
It
And I
is.
noticed, yeah. And I
Sometimes
noticed
a bit less. I mean, I've seen it run only 8 days too. I mean, this one was 27th of Feb, and it went all the way until the 13th. Again, 2 weeks. But it might be this might be the bull market that's doing this too, because in the bear markets, we were getting 8 days, you know, max, like these little windows where you could go in like 3 days after and up to 8 days, and then boom, you're out, and then you waited it out for another, you know, a couple weeks. But the last one in January, could have gone in at 33, and my God, look at that. It kept on going even here all the way up to 57. That's just enormous.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt an ongoing pattern, and we just have to look and see whether or not we've broken out of a trend, and we're still going to go up. But all the way up to 57. That's just enormous.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt an ongoing pattern. I'm getting feedback, by the way, Leslie. We've broken out of a trend, and we're still going to go up. But all the way up.
I have no idea what's happening, man. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. So if I go back and look now at where we are, I mean, the only thing we have to be concerned with is sort of this zone that we should be back in, which is between the 43 and 45 range, which we need to break, you know, get into and get out of. Well, coincidentally, it's a full moon tonight, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, wouldn't it be great to see us hit the full moon and then just go right up? So it's entirely possible that we get a nice little break in here, but we've got to break above this little, you know, pattern in the middle here and then go up. If we do, we go up to 70. If we don't, we could sit in the sidelines in here, but still, you know, you might get a little break and go from where are we at now? We're at 39, called 40. You could still get all the way up to 45. I mean, if you bought right now, not financial advice, but if you were to buy it right now on the premise of the full moon, then you could still go up to about 45 and a half, which is roughly the top of the resistance right now. And if it comes up to that and you close out your position and it comes back down to 43, you buy it again, just because you'll probably get something. But I wouldn't play short in this market. I wouldn't really take too much risk because we're waiting for something to happen. But yeah, I mean, based on full moons, we're looking at something. I'm scared to draw anything though, because I don't know. I don't know what this market's doing to us right now.
70. I have a question.
You did draw two green lines. So I'm already looking at a bounce on those green lines actually.
Yeah, I'll show you, because look here. You see back here, you have like a point where it came, and then you see another point where it came to a bottom there, and then you see a lot of trade action right in there. So and then you can kind of just, if I went a bit more granular and I looked at other charts, I could show you like there's bottoms right there, bottom there, hit the bottom multiple times. So there's a bit of a pattern that could form in here where this is kind of your resistance lines right now. They should have been support. They weren't. They could be. They could be our resistance now. But as long as we break, if we break into this channel and stay in the channel and play sideways, it's fun because you can just buy and sell, buy and sell through the channel. Definitely. It's 2,000 points up and down if you played smart. But the flip side is if it breaks above this top line, I think that's when we're in a good place and it can go up a lot higher. But there's a lot of uncertainty about whether it'll do that or whether it'll retest the bottom again around, 30, which could happen.
Right. So I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So this is a farming question, a strategy that I want to maybe test or maybe not test. So on the full moon theory, not financial advice, guys, just like a for fun experiment. If I wanted to farm and get more coins, so I'm trying to buy between 35 to 37. I haven't had much of an opportunity at that recently. If I want to buy between 35 and 37 and then sell around 40 to 42 and then buy back in at 37 to 38 and then sell at 45 maybe just to collect more coins. I thought that could be a good strategy to collect more, to grow my coins, but then right now what I'm hearing is maybe not. Maybe like, because today's the full moon, is this my last chance to get in at 40, 39 and then that's it, and then we're really going to the moon?
It's entirely possible that, I mean, if you wanted to get in at, as you said, 34, then the question is why you didn't go in at 34.
I did a little bit. It's not
It
enough.
was there twice. And then you should have run it up to 45, 44 range and then see. I mean, the thing is that even if it comes up to this 45 range, it's not going to stay there and just bounce straight through and keep going. It's always going to be points where, as you've seen, it goes up, it goes down, goes up, it goes down, goes up, it goes down. So what's to say that it doesn't go up and down a few more times? So even if we're talking about something like it goes up to here and it breaks above it,
You're drawing.
It could still do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then we need a moon, right? So you have to have like a little moon here somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me find the next
Steve.
moon for you.
We have to watch.
I'm drawing happy faces now.
Yeah. We have to watch your charts, man. And every time when you draw something, it comes to fruition and it just scares the shit out of everyone.
Well, this is what I think it's going to do, to be honest. I think it's going to break above 45 and get people a little bit too excited, and then it's going to dump a bit, probably retest, because that's what happens, right? Everybody misreads it. So I'm going to assume that they're going to misread the breakout above 45, assume it's going there. It does a little bit of a dump. Everyone freaks out again, but then gets caught in this little channel. Maybe it goes up and down like this twice. I don't know. But I think it could stay in the 43, 45 range. And then all of a sudden it breaks. But I kind of drew it out for around 15th of June, which ironically, it's the next half moon. So that wasn't intentional, but
yeah.
The next full moon is 24th June.
Yeah, well, my happy face is on the 24th of June, but I'm not trying to draw this to scale. You're putting too much pressure on me.
The next full moon is 24th June.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that we're going to see a bit more of a bump here with this full moon, because we've seen it time and again. I think we're going to see a rise. I think we could see a little bit of a little, as we've seen in the previous one. We saw it here. We went up, we went down a bit, then we went up again, we went down again, and we still went up again. It was like 1, 2, 3 waves of going up. Yeah. So there's no reason to say we couldn't do the same.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Could be. I never counted them, but 1,
it's always
2,
1 through 3.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always 3 waves.
So it could
make
sense.
So there are 3 little windows to farm, basically, to buy.
Yeah, I think trying to trade just Bitcoin is probably riskier than just buying some Ether and letting it run faster than Bitcoin, quite honestly. Right now, there's something else to look at, which is Bitcoin dominance. I don't know if I have that chart set up on here.
I've been hearing about that. I think dominance to Bitcoin is coming back in this, when the market does crazy things like this, right? Everyone's just coming back to the mothergate. Hi, Mike. Mike is a friend of mine. They started trying to introduce you guys. What was I saying? Yes, I think dominance is coming back to Bitcoin. If that's what I've been hearing.
Well, so here's the dominance chart. So what's interesting is Bitcoin's been playing opposite with the full moons on this one.
Okay.
The last full moon, and it dumped because it was just not dominant enough. And then the chart, for some reason, on this one, on TradingView, it's not going back very far. I don't know why. Maybe it's a loading problem.
No, there you go.
Yeah. But I mean, look, Ether and the alt market has been on fire, so it's not really surprising that Bitcoin has been going down, because the rest of the market's been going up. So, you can see that the full moon doesn't really work here because it's working opposite the way the market's trading. So this is kind of an inverse, trade here. So if we were to go by interestingly, if we went by the full moons, at least the last couple, it's entirely possible that, going by this, that we might just get another Bitcoin dump, but not that the Bitcoin's going down, but that the rest of the market is going up. So Bitcoin could still be rising, but the altcoin market could still go faster, which means that Bitcoin could come down to a lower low relative to the rest of the market. I mean,
it seems
just dominance.
Yeah, this is Bitcoin dominance. I mean, so obviously the more that the alt market is growing and expanding, and the more that Ether is rising against Bitcoin and Binance Smart Chain, which I would argue is kind of like the second main challenger to Bitcoin right now. As soon as you start seeing these coins, and ADA as well, Cardano, Polkadot, you see Matic, all these other protocols that are kind of putting the whole market on fire, and competing with Ether, so they're all taking up market share, and that combined market share plus all the altcoins behind it is what's driving the overall alt market up, and therefore the Bitcoin relative to the rest of it down. So I don't see a reason why the Bitcoin dominance couldn't become lower, and yet Bitcoin could still rise, and so could all the rest of the market all at the same time. So maybe this chart could go sideways, maybe Bitcoin dominance goes down. I know I've seen a lot of traders that say Bitcoin's dominance will start to recover, but I mean, we don't see that that's happened based on this. But Bitcoin prices was rising, and yet the rest of the market was rising at the same time. So there's some interesting sort of opposing bits of information here to play with. But I mean, the last 2 full moons anyway certainly did not help Bitcoin at all. So I don't know. It's hard to predict because there's a lot of stuff going on between Chinese news and Elon Musk and his call for Doge developers. I mean, take your pick what way things are going to go now.
Hey guys.
Hatoshi's joining us for your, to help us on the DeFi side of things. Before we go into that, Steve, you mentioned about ADA. What about ADA that you have been spotting, man?
Well, what's interesting is there's a lot of activity going on with IDO stuff, with projects that are now kind of launching protocol stuff. And yes, we need the actual main chain to go online, but the fact that projects are starting to push, I don't think they would all go push if nothing was going to happen, because then they would all basically be stuffed, wouldn't they?
Right.
So I kind of have the belief that maybe something will actually happen this time with Cardano. They're probably ready to push something out because the ecosystem is now in a stage where it's growing, it's developing. We see IDO platforms, we see exchange launches and DEXs, and we see all sorts of other products and things happening on the marketplace. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for them to all be adopting on the Cardano chain or raising on the chain if the chain's not going to do anything. So either it's highly speculative or something's happening and we just don't know because we're not on the partner track and we don't know what relationships and what deals have been formed. But my instinct tells me, he's the best shiller in the world. I mean, he's awesome. He can come shill my projects any day. Damn.
I was like, what's happening with ADA, man? He mentioned that there will be things that's going to happen in July. And if you look at the the quarter charts that we usually watch, last year, remember, we were like in an all-time dip in the June, July, early July period. And if things are going to move on the events itself, we are looking at a Q3, highly, maybe a pumped action, where things are just building up to Pumptober, right? Like what happened last year. So that could be
certainly something to be said there, because I've heard of July dates and September dates for Cardano, which would definitely take us toward Pumptober and Trumpvember. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a repeat.
Hopefully. Yeah, just wondering whether that's gonna happen, right? So, but this is what it means on the channel itself. So, you guys heard it here first. We're expecting to see some kind of correction, or rather, we are in a correction now. And Q3 could be a slight pump, for all the altcoins, like what you mentioned earlier. It could be the entire month of June. That's based on moon charts. And
I think we're going to see 2 waves. I think we're going to see a summer alt wave, and I think we're going to see a Pumptober wave, and then we need to go to the crystal ball from Adele and the crystal ball from Dunny and see what they say, because I can't go beyond those points. But I think there's going to be a summer run, because there usually is, and I think October. I think there'll be a little bit of a dip probably in August, and then maybe September, and then I think October, November, leading into December could be a massive push, and then it could just be a repeat of 2018. I hope not, because there's a lot of people predicting Bitcoin going to 250 or 200 or even 150K next year. And if Tim Draper's calls have always been good, and this one's going to be good again, we have a long way to go to get to 250 for Bitcoin. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he calls it, and maybe all the alt market falls apart, and everyone moves to Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps, and then the whole market dumps, and by that time we're hopefully all out and retired.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Before we move on to the DeFi SG, Jose's section, shall we just pull up the moon charts again for the people who are here for the moon charts, because everyone's fascinated? Do you want to do a quick summary of what to expect from here based on the moon for between now and the next moon, 24th of June?
Yeah, just respect the moon, man.
Completely
Respect
lost
the moon.
sight of
Learn it the hard way.
the moon experiment. Our moon
Well,
story.
I drew my own moon, but there's no cheese here. So I think that from here we'll probably we're going to see the full moon show up on here. Well, it's not showing up yet, but the chart will show up with the full moon in here imminently, maybe while we're sitting here on channel. And I think at some point along here in the next day or so, we're going to see some sort of a movement from 39 up to 45, 46. So if that happens, that would be the first kind of big wave up. So there's a 5K, 6K profit to play with. I think it could come back down even as low as 43, do another run up, could do 2 runs up. It might just go all the way up to the 45K range, and that's where it sticks and bounces around, or it could do a breakout. So there's still there's still 2 possibilities. One is that it goes in here, or one that it just kind of goes in here and just goes. Is it drawing? No, it's not drawing. Kind of does a little bit of this.
Ask what is the black and the white moons? The black moons are the full moons, right?
The full moon, yeah. So the full moon's always the pump. So, but it's a little hard to identify because of this big dump, which taken us out of kind of our channel that we are in and our upward trend. So it's a little bit disturbing, I suppose. But I still think that at least for full moon purposes, there's going to be some sort of a pump that takes us to 45, 46, and then it could do a pullback and another run up, or it could do so there's there's 2 possibilities. It either goes 45, 46, pulls back to 43, and then carries on, does another run up, and then pulls back and runs up again. Or it could just go up to 45 and then just sit in this channel going between 45 and 43 for a bit before it breaks out. I don't really think it's going to do another dump down, at least not yet. But it could, because then it would form some sort of another pattern. It'd be a double bottom, which would also be healthy. But I don't think that's in play here yet. I think it's more likely go, it's a more conservative full moon. But I would love to be wrong, and I would love for it to do what I drew, heading up to our stick it to the man guy up here. Maybe I should just put the sticks on here. Let's give him those little stick figures, right? So you gotta just he's hanging out. Yeah, there he is. He's running.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Steve. And back to Mr. Hautoshi.
Mr. Hautoshi, bro, how are you?
Thanks, man. Steve, your moon charts are legendary. I only wish that somehow I had it plugged at the back of my mind before I started doing all the yield farming and all. Because if I were pulled out, right, probably would have protected some of my profits. But it is what it is. And wow, man, that dump was insane. It's my first time seeing something like that. I think it spooked out a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. The problem with the full moon chart, quite honestly, though, is that it's easier to focus on buying the bottom. It's much harder to identify where the top is going to be.
Yeah,
because I don't look at the half moons or the new moons the same way. I look at the full moons, and the reason being is that the new moons are far less accurate in predicting what's going to happen. There is usually some form of sell-off around them, but sometimes it's kind of minuscule. But the full moons have had much more impact of big moves of, at least with the bull market, 5,000, 10,000 point runs the last 4 or 5 cycles now. So at least if we're looking at now, we're looking at a 5,000 point run from here till let's say the next 2 weeks. And if it's 10,000 points, I'll be very happy.
Nice.
10,000, of course. Yeah, nice. All right, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Hautoshi, what kind of
And-
news
Yeah.
do we have on the DeFi front, man? Some exciting stuff that we have been researching on. I think it's good that we want to share this with our channel, with our subscribers. So if you guys want to hear more alphas that's coming out, just type in alpha in the post, and Mr. Hautoshi will actually start sharing more in terms of what happens. So if you guys are watching this live, just give us a type, alpha, and we'll go out and show for that. Yeah, man.
Wow.
And for your information, Steve is also farming as well on Aave. So,
Aave is like a money printer now, guys. If you know.
Oh my God! Listen, I moved my Matic. So Leslie, I got my Matic tokens and I got them cheap. I bridged them over to the Matic network and staked them there.
woohoo!
And I kid you not. So it's what's awesome, and you can talk about this, Satoshi. So what I did was I staked my Matic tokens, and every day I'm accumulating Matic from interest on the Matic stake. But then you also get this little claim button up at the top, and every day I claim that, and then I have to swap it with QuickSwap and redeposit it, which costs me like 2 cents. And
Yeah,
then I'm
exactly.
actually compounding my interest. And I've made like 1,000 Matic coins in the last 2 months on top of what I was already staking. So I am not complaining, because it's like, holy crap, this is like really working. And I think I'm getting like 36% APY on my Matic tokens, but the actual
Wow.
value of the account is obviously like much higher.
Yeah, because of the
Wow.
price of Matic. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
the
course.
price of Matic has just made the X's very, very, very
Much
cute
more.
and cuddly.
I need
Yeah.
to do that. Whatever you just said. I'm
Yeah,
totally
that
going
is really, really. I mean, it's like money printing, literally. Matic is
Yeah.
like, I think they teamed up together with Aave, right? $40 million investment from in April until May, right? You
Yeah.
get that multiplier effect before they taper off until next year. So, I mean, it was my first. I tried the Matic network, because we did put quite a bit into Matic. I decided to try the crossover, and to be honest, right, once you go Matic, you never want to go back, man. I tried a few already, right? The blockchain.
It seems like Jason was the first one who did this, and he kind of had this spillover effect, right?
Yeah,
so
man.
on all of us, and Jason was like, telling us that once you go Matic, you will never turn back to any other, protocols for
The fees.
yeah.
The fees are on another level. Yeah, but anyway, thanks for having me on. I think, as you guys perhaps already know, I'm pretty much a fan of like the Solana ecosystem. If you do not know Solana, I think you would have known by now, right? Solana is pretty much in the dip right now. It's like a layer 1. It's kind of like a much faster version of Ethereum, as it claims, right, to be able to compete with Visa and the likes. I think the transaction for one new block is in the milliseconds. I think about 400 milliseconds. So that's
Wow.
quite insane. And Solana is actually creating like a cross-bridge chain with Phantom, Ren Protocol, Terra, BSC in the time to come. And their sponsor is FTX, which is Sam Bankman-Friedman or something like that, right? Yeah, that dude's awesome. But what I wanted to show you guys is not really an alpha, maybe an alpha still, because the official launch is in July. And that's Star Atlas. All right, let me share my screen. Just a second, guys. All right. So this is Star Atlas. When the first time I saw it announced, it looks a bit like EVE Online, if you played. And the idea of Star Atlas, right, it's actually the first decentralized blockchain MMORPG kind of, right, whereby you actually, it's like a metaverse with an in-game economy and NFT, which actually promises, right, the players, right, to actually translate it into real world income. So I'm not sure if you guys heard, right, like there's this game called XC Infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Filipinos, in some of the rural villages, right, they actually play that game to actually survive on an income. And Star Atlas is the Solana equivalent of that game. And I mean, the graphics and all are pretty sick. But what they are having right now is this. They are actually selling away their AR NFTs. And how it works is that Star Atlas, at its launch, right? Leslie was talking to me about this. This is like a reverse dark auction kind of like tokenomics, right, Leslie?
Yep.
Yeah. So they
like
will
one-
release like 14 posters, right? And the first one will be at $64. And then it goes up to 128, 256, 512, all the way to 262. So I calculated like the total cost of playing this game, right, would probably set you apart, like to buy an HDB flat in Singapore, which is kind of out of reach. Yeah, but we've been collecting the posters, and each posters come with tier rewards, and you can actually see here that with each tier you get reward values, you get staking rewards, you get all sorts of stuff, and in the future you're able to rent, buy, and sell. But the posters that you can see here, they actually launch for a week all the way until July. And what's happening when you buy these posters, you actually get to either you resell them or you keep them for different tier rewards. So I mean, to me, I'm quite a geek, right? And it's quite cool. If you actually see the 3D model, you can actually use Instagram or Facebook. And when you look at the poster, plus the pretty cool techno sound mixers and all, right? Still loading a bit. Are you guys seeing anything?
It'll be very cool if it appears. Come on, let it appear, man.
You can't really appear. You need the VR filter. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try a different poster. Hold on. My favorite is the astronaut.
You have it on your Facebook post.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not sure how come it's not loading on my secondary screen, but usually you can see something. But okay, we can move on. But yeah, what's happening right now is that you can actually connect your Solid, which is your MetaMask for Solana, and you can see we bought a few already, and we are trying to complete some tiers. So I think if you're into the whole NFT land game flipping, right, like the Decentraland and whatnot, yeah, these are some ideas. Some of our posters are already 2x in value and more. But we are gunning because if you actually look at the Star Atlas release, right, look through their white paper, I think it's really quite well done. It's also built by the Unreal Engine. So what will happen actually is they will have an in-game currency with a dual token system. So what happens is that Atlas will be the in-game currency, meaning you will actually leverage on whatnot, and this will be traded over Serum, which is Solana's first decentralized derivative exchange. Okay, so they'll be plugged into Serum, and there will be a governance token.
Right.
So I understand dual tokenomics and all are pretty mind-blowing. Okay, but the NFTs will also help to power this whole ecosystem. So I think it's something worth checking out, because come July, when the tokens start selling out, right, this is when they will start the releasing of the two tokens. So it's something to keep a lookout for.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Great news.
Yeah, you can also buy and sell on the Serum your poster. So I'll just show you. The first poster we bought was BOI, right? We bought it for, I think, 64. At its high, it was, now the market's dipped a bit. The high was about 220. So you can actually buy and sell your posters down here on Serum itself. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm looking out for more NFTs because it's I like the AR. But I think when we play these kind of games, our objective is more like, I'm guessing, staking. Either that or you do some flipping. Yeah, but I would say with the market bouncing off, right? If you're actually looking at picking up Solana, I'm quite bullish for Solana still. Right now, I think retail is scared off, right? With with the whole sell off, I think it was quite scary, and Solana dipped to its lowest of $19. I picked up some at 21, so I'm pretty good. I'm guesstimating, right, with what's going on with Solana. I'm targeting at least maybe a $90 to $100 by year end with what's coming up. If you guys do not know, there's a lot of things happening in Solana. Okay, we can see it down
Where
here.
can we get Solana, bro?
You said
You can
$90 to
buy
$100
Solana on FTX. You can get it on
FTX.
Binance. But
Gate.io.
Sorry?
Gate.io as well.
Yes, Gate.io is one of them. But the best would be FTX, because they are the central exchange that is actually partnering up with Solana. So you get a lot of things. And if you ask me, there's a lot on their roadmap. Like a lot of the IDOs that we played recently, like Media, like Mercurial and all. I think most of the boys in the our community got I think 15, 20x, 25x.
Wow.
Yeah.
On the IDOs. Yeah. But
they're actually on a lot of exchanges. I just checked on Blockfolio. They're on tons. They're on Binance too. So interestingly enough, I've got Serum already. I don't have Solana yet, but now with the sell-off.
Okay, so if you're looking at Serum is like actually they co-develop it with Solana. So I think that's a blue chip for Solana. And if you want to look at its, I think overall the Radium protocol won over Serum Swap, because Serum Swap was supposed to be like the AMM, like the Uniswap. But eventually the volume went all the way to Radium, because Radium has farms down there as well, and has like this accelerator whereby they launch IDOs. So I also heard there's like 18,000 developers on the Solana Discord. So I think that they're also having a hackathon, and one of the ones I was looking out for is Solana, Soul Starter, which is actually promising the first IDO platform for Solana. But I missed the wave. But some things that I'm looking for is this one, Solrise Finance, which is a decentralized fund management investment protocol. I'm also perhaps looking at Band protocol is pretty good, right? Leslie was talking about it, like an Oracle.
That's the Chainlink equivalent. So yeah.
There is one, maybe some alpha for you. Let me see. Alpha.
I guess the question is, what are your top 3 picks for the Solana protocol network infrastructure?
I like this one.
Oh,
man. Put him on
I like this one. This one hasn't launched yet.
Put him on the spot. Come on.
Okay. It's really not it's really not financial advice, guys. Okay.
Yeah, not financial advice, but
yeah. But he can still pick his top 3 and why. That's all cool.
He's totally degenerate at this moment, right? So yeah.
I mean, I want to make money, bro. I mean, if you pick the top 3 and
I'll give you an alpha.
It's my problem, not yours.
It's quite funny because Samoy coin is like their dog meme coin down here. But let's not talk about shit coins right now. But I'll look at, if you ask me, I'll look at Mango Markets and let me see. I'm definitely looking still at Radium. Radium already launched. Price got hit quite badly, but I'm still seeing it as one of blue chip. Side options is pretty cool. This is like a vanilla options protocol. Okay, and we got Mango, we got side options. My bet would still be Star Atlas and Soul Starter. Solrise Finance as well, but not hearing much about their launch. Yeah. So
Steve's like taking down notes. You look at his pen on
my hands are like this right now. I'm just taking it all in. Well, I'm already in Serum, so that's all cool. And I've been tracking Solana for a while, and of course it's sold off. So even now it's still cheap. I kind of believe. Yeah, I still think you're right. It could probably go to $100. It's just the market cap is always what I keep my eye on and make sure it's not going to go crazy. But right now the market cap is $9 billion. So, is it going to go to 30 billion? Maybe. I mean, why not? Right.
I mean, as of now already, if we are looking at DeFi Llama, right? Polygon is at what 11.66 B already. It's quite crazy, right?
So Polygon's market cap right now is 14 billion.
Yeah.
So when you compare that to Serum, I mean, Serum is at 9.
It's crazy, right?
Polygon's at 14. And if you're calling a 3x on Serum, then I'd call a 5x on Matic. So it's $10 Matic. That's what I'm saying.
Matic to $10. Wow, that's a dream, man. I bought it at 15 cents, man.
Yeah. We'll be buying boats and meeting each other someplace in the Atlantic or Pacific or Indian Ocean, I guess.
Yeah, but you can see here, right? Like,
send me the
like
GPS
the
coordinates. I'll
Solana
meet you.
Yeah, you guys can see here, right? The TVL is still in Radium and all. It's still pretty much. A lot of attention right now is going to Matic, right? Because they're paying a lot of marketing and all for people to go there. The fees are cheap and whatnot. But I do believe maybe some in some form rather, like the attention will go back to Solana soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's that's all I have for the DeFi space. Hopefully you
Awesome,
guys like the alpha.
Pretty awesome.
You see here, Mango Markets. Yeah.
I'm not really, well versed yet, so I'm gonna get into this. But because of what you mentioned, I actually picked up Serum during the dip. I don't know, right? Bitcoin is dropping to 30K, and I'm like, I must buy Serum. I don't even know what it did until now, actually. So I picked up Solana. Now I'm like, oh, how can I not have Solana if I have Serum? What do you think is a good entry point still at this moment?
Well, you missed the dip, man. The dip was awesome.
Solana?
The dip was what, $19, man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I got Serum, and then it wasn't moving. Serum's like $4 for a long time, 4-ish.
Yeah.
$4.
It kind of pulls because a lot of this is still pushed up, right? So, they were supposed to be soul season, right? Solana summer, but I think the sell-off kind of affected it for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think instead of like waiting for the rest to FOMO in later, you might want to pick up whatever bags and try to get some during the dips.
What was the all-time high for Coconut? Yeah.
All-time high for Solana, I think was what, $51.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
$58, man. 58.
So we're half the price,
58?
basically, right? Yeah.
Now it's 30 something, right?
34,
half
yeah.
the price. We'll have the price.
Yeah.
So unless if we just knew this price discovery, and so it's a good time to actually buy. Like what Steve said, we're still in that zone, right? So we can actually buy at this point of time before the moon, the half moon happens, right? So who knows? With Bitcoin dominance and what Steve mentioned earlier, the altcoins are really performing at this point of time. So and even then also, I think with any dips that comes, we can actually start to make little profits, take little profits on that as well. So I think that's the exciting part, man. Yeah.
Another thing, right? If you're looking, Rune, like during the sell-off, I was observing, right? The ones that sold off pretty badly were BNB, and I think BNB sold off pretty badly. It went to
50%, like 50%. Aave Compound also got smashed.
Yeah. But the one that held true was really Matic, right? But Matic even did to like semi plus 80 cents.
People were asking me like, why didn't your portfolio drop as much as mine? And I said, I have Matic.
Matic's like your armor, man.
My Matic is still like 5x, guys. I don't know about you, but that's like okay for me.
Diamond hands.
Yeah. Oh, seriously, I know. You're right about that.
15 cents. God.
Yeah, and honestly, Solana was still holding up strong, but I think it couldn't escape like the second dip. That's when I started to see, like, for myself, real life panic selling. But then it didn't last for long.
Yeah.
So,
all right, man, guys. So we are excited because DeFi Singapore is going to organize with an event partner for a DeFi workshop done by Mr. Hautoshi himself. So he's going to teach us Pancake Swap.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm showing up for that one.
I have a question. So I'm going to sign up for this DeFi class, right? And then I
Yeah.
find out today that I need BNB and Pancake.
And-
Like, why didn't
yeah.
you tell me in the dip that I need these things for class? Then I would have bought it for class.
You gotta
Yeah.
ask Ping. She's the
Yeah.
one who sent it out.
So why do we need?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so
no
I need
right.
some,
Adele,
yeah,
there's no right time to buy
I didn't even get
coins.
the invite, so don't feel bad. Come on.
Steve's already doing it. It's much more advanced than us. This is just
I'm
basic.
already staking cake.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like for entry level people who are interested to want to do DeFi farming, and I mean
Listen,
it
I have
is
some client and he's
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm not going to pay you in USDT anymore. I'm like, okay, what are you paying me in? BUSD. I'm like, okay, crap, I got to go figure that out on my MetaMask. And I'm like, okay, fine, pay me in BUSD and I'll just go stake it on Pancake Swap and stake cake. And I don't care
Yeah.
if it drops in
Yeah.
value. I'll just wait and get like, a cake a day, whatever,
Yeah.
half a cake, one cake. It's, I'm going to get fat, but at least I'll have a lot of cake.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you. We've come to the end of the show. So if you guys are really interested in watching or attending the workshop itself, you guys know how to find us. You can drop a comment on the YouTube channel itself. We'll keep a heads up for you, and we'll probably drop in more information as to when the date comes nearer. It's probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now on a weekend. So that's when we have the online service online workshop that we're gonna have that you guys can register for that matter. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna close off the
Thanks,
session.
guys.
Thank you all for coming on
Yeah.
a Wednesday night again. Thank you Adele.
Yeah.
Thank you Steve. Thank you Mr. Hatoshi. Right. So we'll try to keep this as regular as we can. I know we've been on a hiatus because we've been busy trying to do a lot of research. Hatoshi's been on the back end searching out for alphas and things like that. So it takes time, right? So be patient with us, guys.
I got to ask a quick question from Hatoshi before we go. You're still a big fan of Rune Thorchain, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, you called that last time we were all in the group. Go on. You bought the dip?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I bought it
Maybe you should be trading for me. You're good.
I'm not really a trader. I'm more like I was hoping for the right opportunity, but there was so many things on sale. So managed picked up.
Yeah.
I couldn't get everything, unfortunately.
Well, that's where you start realizing you have to have part of your portfolio in USDT just sitting on the sidelines waiting to just dive into everything.
Just put them in Aave, man.
Seriously, that's exactly, yeah. But then you don't want it sitting on the Matic network because now you're, oh my God, I got to bridge it across in the Matic network and trying to get it out of Ether so I can buy coins on sale. And 12 hours later, you get your coins out.
Yeah, that's so true, man. That is the pain points of interoperability at the moment between the Matic network, Binance SC, and the smart chain and on Ethereum itself. These are the three major players at the moment, right? Solana, obviously, this is the other one, right? So you have to actually breach across as well. So, well, on that note itself, guys, I know we've taken a bit more of time that we started. So hopefully I'll see you guys again. We'll try to plan this for next Wednesday itself. Jason does an event on the same time as we do it. So we might do on a different day, just to get Jason on the show. He's very keen to talk about it, obviously. He was the one that actually to talk about it. So thank you guys for joining us. So I hope to see you guys again whenever. Do keep a like and subscribe onto our channel. You can find us on Facebook chat, Facebook groups itself as well. Watch out for DeFi Singapore, right? All right, thank you very much. You heard it here first on DeFi Singapore. All right, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.